If you are watching this video, that lets me know that you are a videographer who has a lot of great stories to tell, who have a lot of video ideas that you want to bring to life, but you just don't have anybody to help you film, or you don't have anybody to essentially film you. Well, that's okay, because this video, I'm going to give you some great tips and advice, some tricks that I even use personally myself for this YouTube channel to create these videos that I produce when I don't have anybody. So without further talking, let's just dive right into it. So the first piece of gear, this is going to be gear related, essentially, that you need in order to film by yourself is going to be a wireless monitor. Now, there's various different companies that make wireless monitors. You can go with DJI or any other brand, but if you're on a budget and you don't want to spend money, you can use the monitor that's in your pocket for completely free. Right now, at the time of this recording, when I'm filming this video, I am using a Atomos monitor right now to film myself, and I can see myself. I can see the image. It looks pretty good, but sometimes when the camera is really far away, I can't see and my eyes aren't the greatest. So that's when I like to pull out my phone and use a app. It is a completely free app that you can use to control your camera and even monitor your image. And it's called the Monitor and Control app. You're gonna want to hit on the connect, and it's as simple as that. As you can see right here, I am 100% connected and I'm able to see myself on the monitor. And what's really great about this app is I'm able to control the ND, I'm able to control my white balance, my shutter angle, my Cine EI settings. The biggest issue about this app, though, I would say, is I wouldn't really rely on it if you're trying to get proper exposure. Only rely on this app for framing. That is all I use it for. And obviously I use it to change my white balance and all my other settings and hit record. But do not rely on it if you're trying to get proper exposure, because it's no, like, you can, I don't know if you can see it, but you can see I look really gray. It looks washed out, doesn't look good. So for trying to get proper exposure, do not rely on it for that at all. But for framing, yes, it's perfectly fine, and it's free. This is a free app that you can download to your phone. Now, if I had to choose this app over a wireless monitor, I would get the wireless monitor, only because I'm able to properly expose better and I'm able to just see focus better. With this, it's really hard if you're pulling focus to really see on this monitor, because it already looks kind of washed out, so it doesn't really look the best. But for just framing, it's good. You should get it, you should use it, and that's going to be advice number one. The next piece of advice that I would give you if you are filming by yourself is going to have to be get a variety of different style shots. If I'm in the kitchen like I am right now, and say I wanted to make a video about me heating up some chili, instead of me just literally pulling the chili out, grabbing a can opener, opening the chili, and just dumping it into a pot and heating it up all in one shot, get different shots, get different takes, get different focal lengths of you, maybe, I don't know, pulling the chili out on the table, and then you can get a shot of you opening the drawer to get a can opener, and then a tighter shot of you opening the can with the can opener, and then maybe you can get even a tighter shot of you turning the stove on. Just getting a different variety of shots and even switching the focal length up could add to your video. But getting creative and just getting a variety of different shots, that's something that you need to have in all your videos. Whether you're shooting by yourself or not, you're gonna want different variety of shots. You just have more footage to work with when in post-production. Next point is going to be sound design. You're gonna have to add sound design in your videos. That's the best way to enhance the viewer attention on your videos. You can have the best framing, the best lighting, the most amazing looking shots, but if there's no proper sound design, the story is just going to fall apart, essentially. And I know it sounds crazy, but sometimes even the most basic sounds that you just wouldn't really think to add to a video can really change the entirety of the video. Just little sounds like this, or sounds like this, or even majestic cinematic sounds like this. They all can play a crucial role in whatever story it is that you're trying to tell. So if you want to really get better in your storytelling, you have to learn and understand sound design, where to put different sounds, what to add, what to take away. Sound design, crucially important. Honestly, the next piece of advice that I can offer you is gonna have to be adding and removing things from the frame. If you really want to get a nice looking image, if you really want to produce a nice looking interview or whatever it is that you're trying to film, sometimes you're gonna have to utilize adding and removing things in your frame. I know sometimes when we're filming by ourselves, we can just get so caught up on making sure the lighting is good, making sure the framing is good, making sure everything else that we need as a camera operator to make sure is good is good. And sometimes we forget to remove things that just don't need to be in frame, or add things that do need to be in frame. And I get it. it ties into us having to wear all the hats, and it can be very stressful and very difficult. But I'm telling you, if you take the time to add stuff that should be added in frame, maybe you're interviewing a guy who's been in the army and there's like a flag of his country somewhere in the room. Maybe you should pull it in frame so when you're doing your interview, people can know, okay, this is a army guy and he has his country's flag in the background. It just adds more spice to it, you know? Now, I know to some people, this might not be a really big deal, but I'm telling you, if you take the time to add and remove from your frame when you're filming whatever you're filming, it'll make a big difference. I'm telling you. So just adding and removing, that should be something that you should try to always remind yourself to do whenever you're filming. Next step that is going to be really important when it comes to filming yourself is adding digital movement. Now, only add digital movement if it makes sense for the shot that you just filmed. So having some digital movements that look like this can really enhance your story. Now, you would think that this shot right here was filmed on a slider, but it wasn't. I literally just have the shot locked off on a tripod like it is right now. I went in post-production, I scaled it into about, I think it was 120%. And then I literally just added some keyframes and just slid the image over as if it was on a motorized slider. Viewer doesn't know that, but you know that, and it made the story look good. It fit in the proper story. I could have just had the image locked off and sit still like this, but it looks boring. Add some movement to it if it fits the vibe. Now, obviously, nothing is better than actually having a motorized slider. If you're on a budget, let's face it, these motorized sliders are very expensive. You can get some for as low as $500 and others up to $1,000. And for some people, that's not really practical, that's not really accessible, or you just don't want to carry around another piece of equipment when you're by yourself. So utilizing digital movement in post-production is something that you could use to better enhance your stories. Now, another way to tell better stories by yourself, this could be subjective to opinion, but it could probably be changing your aspect ratios, filming in different aspect ratios. Or if you feel like throwing on an anamorphic lens, get you a 1.33 times squeeze. If you don't have an anamorphic lens, but you still want that anamorphic look, then in post-production, you can throw on a letterbox and make something that looks like this. But if you don't only just want the letterbox, then you can use these tacky looky flares to make it look like you have an anamorphic lens. Don't do the tacky looking flares, please. They don't look good. Just don't. All jokes aside, but filming in different aspect ratios could be something that could change the overall feel and even vibe of whatever it is you're trying to create. And not only just changing the aspect ratio, if you want to, you can just maybe throw on some effects and filters like film grain or a black pro mist filter, or my favorite, a black satin filter, or whatever you want. Utilizing those different filters, if you want, those different effects, and changing the aspect ratio could make your story look unique, you know, look different. Some people might not like it, some people might like it. Who knows? It's up to you. It's your story. You can do whatever you want essentially with it. And honestly, if you wanted to, getting a creative shot like this could be something that you can use for your film. However you want to frame it, it's all dependent upon you. Just whatever looks good to you, whatever feels good to you, should be the shot, should be the frame that you should go for. I personally love getting creative and filming shots that most people would tell me on my YouTube videos that wasn't a good shot, that wasn't the best shot, your framing wasn't accurate, your framing wasn't filmmaker status, you know. I love getting shots like that because it's different, you know, it's unique, it's something that a lot of people don't really do because a lot of people like to follow the traditional way of filmmaking. I understand when you're on an actual film set job, maybe you want to follow those rules, but when you have a YouTube channel like this, there's no rules to follow. Do whatever you want, do whatever makes you happy. And that's pretty much it for today's video. If you guys enjoyed, please leave a like, comment, and subscribe. Without further ado, I'm gonna catch you in the next video.